I've just spent a few months learning the ins and outs of stylized 3D art using Blender and the Godot game engine. Throughout that process, I put together a pretty riverside stream that I kept coming back to and adding to until it's grown into something more substantive. I'm now at the point where I have a roadmap to get everything to a public demo, and the game dev urge to talk about it has finally got too much to suppress. I won't leave you hanging too long, so here's what I've got from the environment side of things. There's a lot to unpack there that warrants its own videos. I put out some educational stuff about the water and the grass, but I do want to, unintended, dive into waterfall and foliage shaders soon. For anyone new to the channel, I'm Bram, a game dev who's been making a course on how to make games using Godot engine called Godot for Beginners. I've got a big developer history working on the mobile version of Rome Total War, and for GD Quest making educational content, and I also had some fancy personal professional development life working on communication tech at Cisco. With a small contained environment, I couldn't help but tap into some of the games that have really inspired me. I've made projects like Elder Scrolls games before, notably inspired by Oblivion and Daggerfall. They really had a major impact, but the bright fantasy first-person experience is something I've wanted to capture in my own projects. I especially like it when those games lean more towards the fantasy life simulator side of things as opposed to an action RPG. So I was very quick to put together a first-person controller to jump around and throw objects about. The second major inspiration is when I recently got around to playing Breath of the Wild. It was enchanting, but the real thing I never wanted to stop doing was gathering ingredients and cooking them and hanging out in my cozy little house while I was picking out outfits. They really nailed the cooking experience and letting you experiment with ingredients to discover new recipes. I want to combine those experiences in a small-scale, calm, laid-back environment. Ideally, then feeding the meals you make to friendly animals and making friends. That's a bit more in the vein of Potionomics, which is a really terrific potion-making game where you make friends with people to learn better ways to sell your potions. And the book Legends and Lattes, which is a really cozy read about an orc setting up a fantasy coffee shop, also had its impact on my desires for this project. I think whenever I play games, I always don't tend to have a lot of time or brain power after a day of doing dev work, and I really value the feel-good, calm experience. So what do I need to do to make something all of you can try out? I have a minimum viable product lined up, or at least planned out. I need one small self-contained cutesy environment, a creative mode where you can spawn in ingredients, no deadlines, no scorbs, all vibes, a small pool of ingredients that combine in fun ways, a cute cooking station, a selection of recipes to unlock and track in a recipe book of some kind, and some cute creatures to feed your meals to. Speaking of cute creatures to feed, this is Frog. They're my crested gecko and aren't very good at eating. I have to give them their meals mostly by hand, and I'm desperate to put them in the game in some form. So if I can get those tasks done, I'll have a demo to make public. From there I can figure out what I want to add next. So let's talk about the cooking side of things. I love cooking. I've been really trying to improve over the last year, getting better at preparing ingredients, selecting spices, flavour pairs, and learning new skills. I also love food and media. I really enjoy when people draw, animate, and add sounds to try and capture the heat, texture, and appeal of a good meal. I want the simplicity and organic feeling of Breath of the Wild's cooking, but experienced in first person. I also want it to be on a smaller scale with precise goals, like specifically making a coconut and strawberry cake for the goblin that loves cake, or avocado toast for the capybara that loves toast. So that's the plan, and here's what I have at the moment. Do you like toast? Well, let's make some. There are a bunch of ingredients with physics, and you can hold up to 3 ingredients in your arms, throw and put them down. When you put ingredients down, if it's on a cooking surface or a worktop, they get cooked or combined. Let's pick up a slice of bread and find the stove. We can drop the bread and let it fry up. And after that, we've got a nice slice of toast. That animation was particularly fun to put together. Now we have a slice of toast, we can head over to the chopping board. We have a bag full of ingredients. I'm going to nab some butter and just make some butter on toast. The idea is to have lots of ingredients we can combine in lots of ways, but all the food is represented by simple shapes right now. We could say put avocado and feta on toast, which is really, really yummy, but if we find a combination for a specific recipe, we can make specific things. For example, if you put peanut butter and banana on toast, it makes a chunky monkey. I wanted a variety of ingredients that I could pull together to make recipes, and for some reason the easiest things to make is toast. So the whole game's about toast right now. Not intended to stay that way, but it's fun. So what's my agenda? For next time, I need to start working on making 3D assets for some of the food models, and the really exciting job of adding little guys to feed your foodie creations to. That's everything for this first devlog. Please let me know what you think, what foods you'd like to see, and what your name ideas are. I've got a couple names that I'm playing around with, but there's no real rush before I need to actually settle on something. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to support me, I have a course over on Itch, and a Patreon that helps keep the lights on. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. See ya!